In what felt like a blink of an eye, 2021 preseason testing is officially complete after 3 days of running in Bahrain. After weeks of hidden car reveals and hyped-up rebrands, it was finally time for the teams to lay their cards out on the table and allow their rivals to get a sense of who aced the new regulations. Testing in Bahrain finally allowed us the chance to see how teams have redesigned their cars for the new regulations in 2021. Even though it is a carryover season, many teams like Red Bull, Mercedes, and McLaren went to great lengths to hide their new innovations during the launch season. To make up for that, we were able to analyze the new cars over 24 cumulative hours of running at the Sakir circuit. Red Bull were even nice enough to hit the eject button on their engine cover so that we could have a closer look at their new power unit. But with the lap times completed and kilometers logged, are F1 fans more optimistic about the 2021 season after testing, or does it look like we're going to get more of the same old song this season? Well, after live streaming over 6 hours of testing coverage on our channel, I've compiled a short list of reasons why you should be cautiously optimistic about the 2021 F1 season. Regulation changes offer Formula One teams a chance to reset and potentially make gains on their rivals. In 7 seasons of the turbo hybrid era, Mercedes has aced every single small and major rule change en route to winning all world titles in this current era. But as the W12 hit the track for the first day of testing, we saw struggles from the world champions that we are not used to seeing even in the preseason. Gearbox gremlins forced Mercedes to only complete 48 laps of running on day 1, their lowest lap total since 2014. Day 2 was a much smoother day in terms of technical issues, but again we saw an uncharacteristic mistake from Hamilton as he beached his car on the gravel and finished the day in second last place. On the final day, we saw more struggles from Hamilton as the W12 looked to be a handful, and it even led Lewis to a spin out of the final corner during a quali sim. So does that mean that the mighty Mercedes is finally beatable in 2021? I'm not that naive to write them off this early in the year, and that car still has plenty of pace and power in it. As TSN F1 analyst Tim Hauraney explained during our Day 2 debrief show, Mercedes could very well make quick adjustments and maybe even run a new spec floor for the first race of the year, which could turn around their fortunes. They are an incredibly innovative and intelligent bunch, so I expect them to be the favorites still until proven otherwise. But the lack of running and testing is not ideal even for a team like Mercedes in this shortened testing schedule. They completed the fewest laps out of any team with 304, and that led their drivers to facing one of the more challenging preseason tests in recent years. It's been a while since I've seen Hamilton wrestling his car through corners, as he's usually exceptionally smooth at the controls, but that might hint at the possibility that Mercedes' off-season changes have made the car a little bit more difficult to drive than in 2020. If it is indeed a half step backward in 2021, it might finally offer us the chance for a close championship battle that we've desperately been needing, but don't count Mercedes out just yet. It's been quite a long wait, but Red Bull might finally have gotten their you-know-what together at the very beginning of a Formula One season. This is the first preseason test in a while in which Red Bull will leave with the best lap time and confidence that their winter program went much better than Mercedes. Max Verstappen topped 2 sessions on the C3 and C4 tires on day 1 and 3 respectively in his RB16B, while his new teammate Sergio Perez looked comfortable in the longer run simulations. With the adjustments Red Bull have made to the rear suspension this season, visually the RB16B just looked a lot more stable and easier to drive than its predecessor. Verstappen was really attacking the corners of the Sakir circuit on the final day of testing, and he hailed his test as Red Bull's best since he's been a part of the team. Considering how well Verstappen extracted performance out of a tricky RB16 in 2020, his positive comments on the new car this year gives us great hope that Red Bull have finally gotten their act together and can mount a challenge to Mercedes right from race 1. More good news for Red Bull is the fact that their new Honda power unit held up extremely well during testing. Between the two teams supplied by Honda, they managed to complete 700 laps of running with no real issues, and when we look at the Sector 1 and 3 times at a power-sensitive Bahrain circuit, the Honda power is more than holding its own against their rivals. Of course, the team is wary that this is just testing, and Mercedes always seems to have a trick up their sleeves, but 2021 feels like it might be a different story. When you eliminate all the numbers and data, visually you can tell that the Red Bull drivers are just much happier with the balance and drivability of their cars in comparison to their Mercedes rivals. Because of the Mercedes dominance, we've relied on the midfield battle in the past few seasons to give us the close fight we've been hoping for at the front of the World Championship. Well, if 2021 testing is any indication, that fight is about to get a lot more fierce and competitive, with each team seeming to make solid improvements on their 2020 cars. In what was a positive surprise, Alpine executed a perfect run plan in testing with no significant issues. Alpine had a program with a focus of understanding the aero package, but both drivers seemed upbeat and pleased with the progress so far. It's also good news for Alpine to see Fernando Alonso up to speed very quickly and not showing any physical effects of his cycling accident a few months ago. Their rivals over at McLaren wasted no time in picking up from where they left off in 2020. Daniel Ricciardo went fastest in the Day 1 AM session, while his teammate Lando Norris finished second in the PM session of Day 1. McLaren probably had the biggest task of any team during testing, as they were running a new Mercedes power unit and effectively a new chassis as well. They debuted some interesting sidepod and bargeboard designs along with the innovative new diffuser that they heavily guarded during the launch season, but the new updates have certainly seemed to work for the MCL 35M. Getting 327 laps completed in 3 days is very solid work for McLaren and confirming the correlation data of their new package. Being as this was Ricciardo's official debut with McLaren in a real F1 session, he was certainly happy with the new car, and he's really gearing up for a promising season ahead of him and the team. Although testing wasn't as successful as their launch, Aston Martin still showed some solid pace at times during the 3 days of testing. Reliability really hampered the debut of Sebastian Vettel, but he's still upbeat about his end to the test as he was able to get in a decent long run. When the AMR 21 was in the hands of Lance Stroll, he showed good one-lap pace finishing third on Day 2, but the lack of running really makes it difficult to say where Aston Martin currently sits in the pecking order. Aston's lap count of 314 was second last to only Mercedes, so it's safe to say things didn't go according to plan over at Aston Martin. Finally, you have the dark horse of the midfield, and that is AlphaTauri. With the 5th most laps overall and the 2nd fastest time in testing, AlphaTauri might be ready to break into the top 6 of the standings. The new Honda power unit looks promising, but more than anything, AlphaTauri can be extremely excited about the performance of rookie Yuki Tsunoda. They also head home satisfied that they were able to get through their entire testing program with no issues and get some really good long-run data when the car was in the hands of Pierre Gasly. To see the strength of these midfield teams is a great indication as to the type of racing we're going to get in a few weeks' time when the season officially gets underway. But what do you think about the upcoming season after winter testing? Are you more or less optimistic about the hopes of a close championship? Jump down in the comments below and let me know what you think. And also let us know what stood out to you during 2021 preseason testing. Thank you for watching today's video. If you'd like more breakdown and analysis on 2021 preseason testing, check out our live stream videos in the playlist below and also our Day 2 and 3 recap shows. Until next time, thanks for joining us on the Backmarkers F1 Show channel and have yourselves a great day.